Hello, this is Mr. Stansbury. I'm going to take you through the 7E notes on equations of lines. At the end of this, you should be able to say that I can find the equation of a line given the slope and a point, and also that I can find the equation of a line given 2 points. All right, so first thing, let's take a look at some of our handy-dandy formulas. So we got slope-intercept and point-slope formula. So this slope-intercept is something that you're probably more familiar with, but point-slope usually actually is a lot more handy in writing equations of lines. So let me show you what I'm talking about. So with that, on slope-intercept, the m stands for the slope, the b is the y-intercept, and then on point-slope, the y1 stands for the y-coordinate of a point, and then the x1 is the x-coordinate of a point. Okay, and then m is still the slope. Okay, so let's put some of these into use. All right, so from example 18, page 222, we're going to find in general form the equation of the line with gradient 3/4 and pass through the point 5, -2. So the equation in general form, that is secret code for slope-intercept form. Okay, so with that, let's take a look here. So I'll show you both different ways, one using slope-intercept form and then one using point-slope form. All right, so excuse me, with slope-intercept form, we've got y, which is right here. Here's our y, -2, and then x is 5, and then our slope is 3/4. So we'll plug things in and off we go. So -2 equals our slope, which is 3/4 times x, which is 5, plus b, and we're going to solve for b. So -2 equals 3/4 times 5 over 1 is 15/4 plus b. So 15/4 is 3.75. That's a lot nicer for most of us. We'd rather use the decimal, so let's change it into that. Plus b. So subtract 3.75 from both sides, and we get -5.75 is our b. So now that we know b and we know our slope, we can write it in our slope-intercept form, which is y equals m, which is 3/4 x, plus the -5.75, so I'm just going to write -5.75. Okay, and that's a little weird because we got decimals in fractions. It's probably better to leave it in either both fractions, both decimals, but that's just fine. All right, so that is slope-intercept. Point-slope form is a little bit different. I prefer this one over using the slope-intercept form, but again, whichever way you want to do it is fine by me. So using point-slope, we leave our y, and then we subtract the y1, which is -2, so it's y minus -2 equals m, which is 3/4 times x minus the x1, which in this case is 5. So that's over here just y plus 2 equals, distribute the 3/4 through, and we get 3/4 x, and then 3/4 times -5, which is just like what we did over here, is 15/4. And again, since it's a negative, we put minus 15/4. Excuse me. And then really our last bit is just to move the 2 over, so we subtract 2 from both sides, and we get y equals 3/4 x, and then again we can turn that -15/4 into -3.75, and then when we subtract the 2 from that, we just get y equals 3/4 x minus 5.75. So same thing, using 2 different equations. Again, whatever works best for you. If you're more comfortable with slope-intercept, go for it. Point-slope usually is a little bit quicker this way. All right, so let's take a look at another example, and then away we go. So last example to look at is find the equation of the line that passes through 2 points. So now we actually, first thing we have to do is go through and find the slope, and then we can plug it into either one of these two formulas. So our slope, I'm just going to do the 3 minus 5 over 2 minus negative 1. So that gives us what? Negative 2 over 3, because those turn into positive. So our slope is negative 2/3. And then, again, I prefer the point slope, so I'm going to show the point slope way. So we go y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. And again, we know our slope is negative 2/3, and then we can choose either one of these 2 points. I'm going to choose B because it's got both positive numbers. It's a little bit nicer to work with. So I'm going to do y minus, the y1 over here is 3. So y minus 3 equals negative 2/3 x minus, and then the x value here is 2. So we get y minus 3 equals negative 2/3 times x is just negative 2/3 x. Negative times a negative is positive. 2 times 2 is 4/3. So then we can just add 3 to both sides, and we can be done. So y equals 2 negative 2/3 x plus 4/3 and 3. Let's turn this 4/3 into 1 1/3. So 1 1/3 plus 3 is 4 1/3. And there is our answer. So y equals negative 2/3 x plus 4 1/3. Or you could obviously have 4 times 3 is 12 plus 1. You could have 13/3 also. Or you could turn it in a decimal. All right? So that's all there is for this here. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask. Thanks.